Arne, what are your thoughts on that today?
Another big disappointment. Started off quite well the first half hour. Got our chances. But I think throughout the whole game they threw themselves in front of every ball, every shot we had. That's also what they did in the first half hour. And then we conceded the 1-0 and afterwards we weren't able to play the way we did in the first half hour.
I must ask you about 1-0, 13 days on from the Etihad. Did you have a thought that it might have been similar to Andy Robertson?
I don't know. The thing I heard was that it wasn't offside. So if it's not offside, then there's nothing to debate. So after half an hour, I think we were, which is maybe quite normal, the better team. We were creating. Was waiting for us to score a goal, but then the game completely changed by that set piece, because the hour afterwards, we were maybe trying but hardly created any chance, and they scored two.
What do you put that down to, that last hour then today?
It's if things go well, if things go bad, it's always my responsibility, and we weren't able to create enough, or maybe to say anything in the second part. I tried to adjust a few things that didn't really work out. So players tried, kept on trying, but unfortunately we weren't able to score a goal, because you never know in this stadium, if you score a goal then something can happen. Maybe you can turn the game around, but I tried a few things that didn't work out, and that's why I say it's in the end, if things go well or don't go well, it's my responsibility.
How about the second half, 39 seconds in to lose that goal?
Yeah, of course, damaging, because it was already hard to be 1-0 down against a team that's throwing themselves in front of every ball, blocking every shot. So it wasn't that easy to create chances, especially after the 1-0. So then to go 2-0 down, another knock for us, another boost in confidence for them. That's of course far from helpful for us.
What about the bigger picture? 6 league defeats in 7. Where are you at moving forward now?
Now we're in a very bad spell. And that's simple, and we also know that in a few days we have to play for the Champions League again, and not many days later, I think in 7 or 8 days, play 3 Premier League games. So it's nice if you work somewhere and things go really well, then it's nice to be part of it. Now it's a bit more difficult, but keep our head up, work incredibly hard, and try to turn things around, and that has been very difficult till now, but that's what we are trying every single day here at Liverpool.
And given the experience and characters you've got in that dressing room, that's important in a period like this?
Yes, of course. It's always helpful to have experienced players, to have quality players, and it's my job to get the best out of them, and that's not really working out the way we want at this moment. And that's why I can say one more time, it's my responsibility.
Thanks.
Virgil, it's another tough day for Liverpool. Why isn't it working at this moment in time?
We conceded too many easy goals. I think the first half an hour we were good, created good opportunities. They scored, obviously, on a set piece again. That you can ask yourself if it was in front of Alisson, but it counted, so you 1-0 down. I think overall, we were just not good. Good in terms of the battles, the challenges, the second ball fight, too rushed. So it's a very, very difficult situation at the moment, but it was a tough day.
When you talk about the set piece, which you conceded from, very similar to what happened with you, Manchester City, but obviously the opposite outcome. But overall, all the players were up to try and defend that goal, like all 11 players, and don't usually see that. Is there a sense of nervousness about the team?
Well, there's nervousness, I think, after we conceded, but not during that particular moment. I think you sense that you want to rush things after we conceded, trying to find the equalizer as soon as possible, and obviously that's human when you're in a difficult moment. But I don't think there is nervousness before a set piece. I think we cleared the ones before, And yeah, in the end, obviously, like I said, we're just in a very, very difficult moment and we have to get out of it. But you don't get out of it by just speaking about it. And like I said many times, I'm obviously here speaking to you guys because I have to. I'd rather sort it out with my team on the pitch, and that will take a lot of hard work by the looks of it.
But you do take on that responsibility, don't you? You do talk about it as the leader, as the captain. You take on so much responsibility for this team. How do you go about then finding this solution to this problem that you're in?
Yeah, it's definitely a problem, and obviously, like you said, I take responsibility. But I think everyone in the team, not only the starters but the guys around as well, have to take responsibility as well, because football is a team game. We all do it together, and we need everyone at their best. And in order to win games, you have to take responsibility. And that's what I've mentioned as well. And now you have to. Yeah, you have to digest this, take it on the chin, and work harder. And obviously, I've been saying it quite a lot already this season, and it's not been working out so far. But we have to keep going.
How would you suggest then, or sum up the mood right now after you've spoken to your teammates in the dressing room after this defeat? What kind of responses are you getting?
Well, obviously, everyone is disappointed, like they should be, because losing at home against Nottingham Forest is, in my eyes, very bad. That's the least I can say about it. But especially in the second half, the goals we conceded far too easy, and something that we all have to look in the mirror and take responsibility for. But I've been in this club for such a long time now. We've been through ups and downs already, and we will bounce back. But these things don't happen overnight. You have to work and do it together. It's not a one-man show. It's all together, and keep going. But the reality is that we are in a very difficult moment, and we all want to get out of there. I'm not a quitter. No one should be. So I will keep going until the end.
And you can tell that it's hurting you just talking to us right now. The supporters leaving early as well. It's been so long since that happened, and you notice that too, don't you?
Of course. But I can't decide obviously what the supporters are doing if they leave early. Obviously, I can understand the frustration fully, but I know obviously the fans have been through thick and thin with us over all those years, and that's how Liverpool is, and I'm pretty sure that they will always stick with us regardless. And when we come out of this, because we will come out of this, they will be there with us as well.
Thank you, Virgil, for your time.
Thank you very much.
First 30 minutes, I was drooling over their performance, thinking this is brilliant. This is exactly what Liverpool are all about. And then it just, you can see the confidence just fading away as soon as they don't score a goal.
Yeah, celebrations for the Nottingham Forest travelling fans. It's the first time they've won away this season. And what a ground to do it at, in what a manner that they've managed that victory. It's the second season in a row they've gone to Anfield and they've kept Liverpool from scoring, and they've left with all 3 points. Huge result for them, but from a Liverpool perspective, massive as well.
Yeah, of course. I think if you look at Nottingham Forest's point of view, it's a terrific run at the moment, isn't it? Sean Dyche has come in now. I think that's 3 wins, 2 draws in his 6 games in charge. So what a turnaround. It's amazing a bit of structure and belief can have. But, yeah, they're on a real roll at the moment. But, yeah, like you said, Liverpool, they're testing the character at the moment. This is a run of form that they've not been in for a long, long time. Very, very difficult, obviously, now to retain a title, you would think, with the amount of losses they've had already. And it's a tough time, like you said. A few seeds of doubt start to creep in, even with top players and top teams.
Where they rank 6 defeats as reigning champions. The side that leads the way, unfortunately, Gary, you were part of that Chelsea team that lost 7 of their first 12 games as defending champions in 2015, 2016. Jose Mourinho lost his job in December of that year. You know exactly what this Liverpool team is feeling and going.
Yeah, thanks for
sorry,
reminding me
Gary,
of that.
sorry.
Yeah,
I was
great.
hoping you could kind of give us some insights and help us understand what it's like at Liverpool right now.
14-15 season when we obviously won it, the season after we finished 10th. It's a real head-scratching moment because the core of the squad, the bulk of the squad is the same. And it comes down to a little bit, like I said earlier, even top players, a little bit of seed of doubt, a little bit of, confidence is dinted a little bit. I remember in the title seasons that we won the title feeling like so confident in the tunnel coming out, almost like an arrogance to go, I wonder how many we're going to win by today. It was that kind of momentum, that kind of confidence. When things are going against you, like this Liverpool team now, you hear a few rumblings, you know, you hear the crowd are not happy, you hear the outside noise a little bit from the press, and that's when you really need to stick together and have real big characters in the dressing room. Because it's easy, as Michael will know, as anyone who played football, to point a finger at times when things are not going well. Oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. When really, if you dig down, you dig deep, you work hard, and you bounce back. We did that the next season, we won the league. So
right back at you, Joe.
Yeah, that's called the last laugh.
Right back at you. But no, jokes aside, I think it is. You know, it is one of them. It's kind of one of them ruts that's very hard to get out of. And the only thing you can do is stick together, have belief, work hard, and you do come out the other end. But obviously, this Liverpool team are used to winning football matches. They're not used to going on runs like this. So it does need, you know, big characters in the dressing room.
And I think another thing to understand is that everybody will have their own little theories on what's going wrong and everything. And people just want that one answer. But a lot of the time, you're doing exactly the same. The same players that are winning the league. It's the same training, the same manager, the same training ground. Everything's the same. So it's very hard sometimes to put your finger on it, and it can just be a little lack of confidence. And when things start going away from you, it's hard to recoup them and sort of turn the tide in a way.
You're back in our studio, Tim Howard, Robbie Earle, Rebecca Lowe, Liverpool. This is the 4th time the defending Premier League champions have started this badly. The other 3 occasions, Blackburn in 95-96, Chelsea in 2015-16. You might remember under Jose Mourinho, they were 10th at this stage, and Leicester City after winning their title in 2016. We maybe didn't expect them to do as well, Robbie's last season, but we didn't expect this.
No, without doubt. That's probably Arne Slot's worst day in charge of Liverpool Football Club backs. To lose 3-0 away at Manchester City is one thing. To lose 3-0 at home to Nottingham Forest is another. And the game doesn't lie. Your eyes don't lie when you're watching that game. And I was all over that game in that Murillo and Milenkovic look a better centre-back partner than Van Dijk and Konate right now. Dominic Szoboszlai playing at right-back is a waste because they need his energy and his ability in midfield. Alexander Isak has 2 touches of the ball in the opposition's box. 1 shot, none on target. The numbers that are just not good enough. And when a team don't play transition for Liverpool, so with the ball's turning over in this space in behind, they're struggling to break teams down. That's about as bad as it could have got for Arne Slot today. On a day when we talked about them maybe being part of a title race, we're now looking at them being in the bottom half of the table, probably struggling to get in Europe.
We have to always, with Liverpool this season, talk about what happened in the summer and the loss of Diogo Jota. That, of course, has had a huge effect. And Andy Robinson was even talking about it this week while away on international duty. But you also have to look at the money they've spent and the number of players, top-quality players that they've brought in that haven't done it. So where do you think now the onus lies?
On Arne Slot. Simple as that. When I think about Liverpool Football Club, and I know them very well from all of my time on the teams that I played with, I've never seen them this short on confidence. Like as a group, that's the one thing they don't do. Sometimes they don't recruit right, that's all fine. They're never short on confidence. And I just think they're a little bit square pegs, round holes, which also doesn't scream Liverpool Football Club. You talked about Dominic Szoboszlai. Has to be in the midfield, can't be at right back. Wirtz. Where do we put him? Do we put him at the 10? Do we put him on the wing? We have to try and find a place for him. That's never been how
have we got to this then?
Well, they've brought in players that you would think, I thought, would hit the ground running. These are proper Premier League players, and they just haven't done it. And so I now think that Slot is looking at thinking, do I have to go back to square one? Do I have to put Andy Robertson at left back? Because I actually brought in someone to replace him this summer. I wasn't planning on doing that. So there's a lot of question. I think he's sort of backtracking as well, which isn't a great thing.
I mean, Liverpool don't panic. They don't fire their managers.
No.
The problem is they're 11th in the table, 6 defeats in their last 7. Where does he stand, Slot?
Well, the optics don't look good, but he's got credit in the backs. What he did in his first season in charge and winning that title, he's absolutely not under the pressure of losing his job. But he's got to start to turn things around quickly. And when you spend record fees on a striker who doesn't even have a shot on target, the manager's under pressure to work this out.
Yeah, Isak had just 15 touches all game and was replaced midway through the second half. As soon as Arne Slot talks, as I say, we'll bring you
Behind, and it came from Murillo. Michael, take us through this one, please.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool have been really, really good in the first half an hour of the game, and of course a set piece, and that's been their undoing. It's almost been the story of the season so far. It's a lovely finish from Murillo.
Yeah.
You know, it gets flicked, he takes a lovely first touch, and it's out of his feet quick, and he smashes it into the bottom corner. Now, this could get a little bit controversial. And Ndoye is in front of Alisson. He's not impeding his view. But I think his left leg is in an offside position.
We have confirmation that he is offside.
Right, well, if that's the case, then Liverpool fans are going to have a real complaint saying, well, if Andy Robertson's was given offside a couple of weeks ago against Manchester City, why on earth is that? He's right in the middle of the goal. Similar in terms of, yes, Alisson can see the ball, and so could, you know, Manchester City's goalkeeper, Donnarumma, a couple of weeks ago. But the goalkeeper wouldn't have saved it regardless. I think that goal, despite him being an offside, should have stood. But I also think Andy Robertson should have stood as well.
Yeah, major deja vu for Liverpool. Let's look at the official word from the match centre, the Premier League match centre. The referee's call of goal was checked and confirmed by VAR, with it deemed that Ndoye was not in the line of vision of Alisson and did not make an action that impacted an opponent. Same question for you, Gary. What are your thoughts on that incident and the offside?
Yeah, well, it was obviously confirmed that he was offside, so my thing was, can Alisson see the ball? And I think you can probably see from this angle here, actually, he can.
But so could Donnarumma 2 weeks ago.
Here, he has a clear sight of view there. Yeah. So for me, that goal should stand, and it did. I agree with what Michael's saying, and Arne Slot will feel aggrieved for sure, having had that one.
Yeah. Goalkeeper's never going to save it, is he? Never in a million years. He sees the ball, he was never going to see it. Yeah. Never going to save it anyway. As I say, I think it's very, very similar to a couple of weeks ago.
Well, let's look at that one just before the international break, because obviously that's a big bone of contention.
Yeah.
What's the difference here?
Well, the difference is that Andy Robertson makes a movement, doesn't he? He actually ducks out the way. But the rule states there's got to be a movement towards the ball or affect an opponent. But what opponent is he affecting here? When Virgil van Dijk heads the ball, Donnarumma, you can quite clearly see, you know, Andy Robertson's got nothing to do with him. This is the perfect angle. Donnarumma is never in a million years going to save that, whether Andy Robertson is there or not. That is my point. So he might slightly duck. He does slightly duck, but that doesn't affect an opponent, which is the bit that the, PGMO will point to. It doesn't affect an opponent. Yeah, that should stand. But everyone realised, I think after the event, everyone believes that. And I think two wrongs don't make a right. I do think the Nottingham Forest goal should stand today. But you can imagine Liverpool fans around the world feeling, hang on a minute, we were robbed of a goal a couple of weeks ago and now one's been given.
Yeah, they'll be raging. Just to follow on from what you said, Match Centre last week, or with that Andy Robertson incident, said that he makes an action. And then this week, very clearly, that Ndoye doesn't make an action.
But that affects the opponent, Jules. It doesn't affect, that's the point, it has to affect the opponent. That does not affect Donnarumma. It doesn't affect him diving, it doesn't affect his sight, it doesn't affect anything, and nor does this one. This is not me saying, one should... Both of these goals should be given, in my opinion. I mean, a player stood right in the middle of the 6-yard box there. You could argue, some people around the world would be thinking, well, how can a person that stood right in the middle of the 6-yard box, in an offside position, in front of the goalkeeper, not be affecting it? Well, and that is a fair argument. But what I'm saying is that it's very difficult to justify one being given and one not.
It's so close. It's so close. They're the reasons. But like you just said there, with Manchester City game, there's no chance he's saving that, regardless of anything. He really isn't. So I can see why Liverpool fans will be fuming. I can see why Arne Slot and the players will be angry. But this is the reason he made the movement. There's the movement. In the game today, there was no movement, and that's the reason behind it, but very, very harsh. Yeah, but for Forest, that did stand. There was another incident and a big talking point, because this one was disallowed. I know you differ in opinions in terms of this. It was Igor Jesus, and we're just going to take a look at the incidents. The on-field incident was initially that it was a handball. What did you think, Michael?
Well, I definitely think it hits the arm, and it looks to me like it hits quite high. Personally, when I look back at that, I don't think it hits a position on his arm that is handball. I think it's almost more under the armpit. And I think Liverpool have got away with it. I think that could be a goal. Now, the one thing going against Nottingham Forest in this situation is the referee's call of handball on field. Now VAR have looked at it and said, right, well, we can't find any reason, any concrete evidence to say it's not. You know, the position on the arm, etc. So they've gone with the on-field call, which I'm fine with. But if you're asking me, what do you think? I probably think that's a goal, and Liverpool have got away with it.
Yeah, no conclusive evidence is what it said. I mean, we've had to zoom in on it and stop and freeze and everything. What did you make of it?
I've watched it 3 or 4 times now, and in open play, for me, that's a goal. There's not enough in it. That's a goal, and Liverpool are very lucky.
Drama, controversy, a 1-0 lead for the underdogs. The Premier League is back, baby. And we're going to talk about all of it now with Damien and Kenny. Starting with that Murillo goal. What did you make of how that all unfolded, Kenny?
Yeah, probably scored by the best player in the pitch in the first half. Liverpool won't be happy with this. Don't deal with the initial header on into the box. That's Virgil van Dijk's responsibility. That near post zone doesn't deal with it. But then after that, the quality of the finish is unbelievable. Look at his first touch from Murillo. Just kills it and then gets the shot off before he can even be closed down. That's like a centre-forward's finish. But Liverpool, and look at Van Dijk, he's showing his arms. He should be looking at himself there. He's got to dominate. And this is the question mark. Is he offside? I thought Isaac was keeping him offside. Look at Endo in the middle of that 6-yard box. I thought he was onside because Isaac's keeping him onside. It seems as if the officials have decided that Endo isn't interfering with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, we've got the official word on that. And Liverpool fans will be fuming with this, given the goal was disallowed, the Van Dijk goal with Andy Robertson obstructing the goalkeeper's sight against Man City. The referee's call of goal was checked and confirmed by VAR. It was deemed that Ndoye was not in the line of vision of Alisson and did not make an action that impacted the opponent. So it seems he was onside. That wasn't the problem, but that he wasn't.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Oh, that he was offside, I should say, but that he wasn't.
No, I think that's a fair assessment. I think,
you don't think he was in the line of vision there?
No, he wasn't. If you look at the one behind it, he can see it here, and he's outside the line of the vision. You can see this is the one here. Look, Alisson has it. He makes no attempt to play the ball because that was the rule of what was given, is that if he makes an attempt even to open his legs, to let it go through his legs, the goalkeeper can't react because the goalkeeper can't dive in case the player plays it, because remember, Alisson doesn't know if he's offside or not, but it was past him before he knew it, and I think that's the correct decision.
What do you think?
No, I don't think it should be awarded because how central he is. I think if he's wide of the goalkeeper and Alisson's got clear line of vision to the ball, I think that's fair. A bit like Andy Robertson, which I think the goal should have stood last week. He's to the side of the goalkeeper. Keeper's got clear line of vision between him and the person. It was Van Dijk last week. This shot here, for me, and Ndoye gets between.
But I think the point of this rule is not if you're down, because neither of them are down the line. The point is the goalkeeper can't react because until the ball passes Ndoye.
Exactly.
Right?
This is why
the ball is past him. So
this is my point. He's not reacting to the ball. He doesn't know if Ndoye's going to throw it. He could throw out a leg there. He doesn't know. Yeah. So he's waiting. He's
we'll
actually
talk more about that one at full time. But there is another one to get through here as well. You think this has gone Liverpool's way in their fortuitous?
An absolute travesty that this goal has been disallowed. I think the linesman, the referee aren't sure. They think something's happened. You see them looking at each other here. There's still no whistle. They're all celebrating, and this comes back as a handball. There is no way this is a handball. Kanate, who by the way has had an appalling 45 minutes. There is no suggestion that ball has gone anywhere near his hand. It's come up off his chest. Kanate has made a hames of that, as he has done pretty much everything he has in this first half. And that is a travesty for Nottingham Forest. They're not 2-0 up here. That is as good a goal as you're going to see, and I really feel sorry for Forest.
Left pectoral, just to be specific. I think it's less clear and obvious, and sometimes it's your first reaction when you see it. First time I saw it from behind, I thought it's a goal. It's hit him on the chest. I don't think either official is entirely certain. Medley's looking back down the pitch. He's not sure. He's looking at the linesman. I think the linesman's in this reaction. He's looking at the referee. Did you get a good view of that? I don't think I did. And instinctively, he's made the decision to give the
and then VAR's decided not to overturn
VAR's decided there's not a clear whatever that means. Either it's the right decision for me or it's the wrong decision.
But regardless, even if the referee
that
gives
one there
it,
looks like it could be a handball.
Even if the referee and the linesman get that wrong and they give a handball, VAR's got to look at that replay there. That ball pops up, hits him on the chest. Maybe a fraction of the ball comes off the shoulder, which isn't offside, and that ball gets out in front of him. So that is a clear and obvious mistake. If they have awarded a handball, a clear and obvious mistake that it wasn't. So that goal should have stood, and it's a lifeline for Liverpool, and they need it.